bottom man.
Bugger! Entrance is hidden.
Hi, it's Double975 and welcome to Baldur's Gate 3 on the Xbox, and we're continuing Nypsy Does Honor Mode. This is episode 10, and finally I'm heading into the Underdark at level 4. Well, halfway through level 4 I should say. Now earlier I let the Zents go and let them keep their chests because I was so generous, and I probably shouldn't have done that. But it does make this introductions a bit easier, and you know, there's some decent merch to be handed down here and stuff to unlock. There's a lot of treasure from this part of the Zen space, and even if you're nice and don't kill everyone. The Titan String Bow is probably the premium item on offer, which I'm not going to abuse in this run through, but if you're doing a Gloomstalker Ranger, the Titan String Bow is on almost a must. With the giant Shrimp Club and the Titan String Bow, you have a god tier build that can put out severe damage. A Gloomstalker Ranger stroke Rogue, it just gets so many attacks and just absolutely decimates with a bow. That would be my advice on the build, but I'm not abusing that build because stealth archers are way too broken in Baldur's Gate 3. They're pretty much really good in 5e. I was actually surprised because I was always told rangers sucked, and then Don's played a ranger for the last 2 years in our campaign, and the Gloomstalker Ranger is actually really good. I mean, he's fairly kitted out, but he hasn't got a Titan String Bow, otherwise he'd be doing absolutely ludicrous damage. I do go to the trouble of unlocking the Artist. It's the least favourite Act 3 storyline is his haunted house and unlocking that secret. But I will unlock it just in case I want to play through it later. Yeah, I might. It's one of those because it's better if you do it, but it's a real pain in the butt. And you don't get much reward for it. It's a horrible part of the storyline. But yeah, so I unlock her, unlock some stuff to buy, and then go out the back of the cave and kill the other Zents to unlock the way down. Always does feel fairly mean, that bit. Have a little catch up with Shadowheart about her little falling out with Lizelle that happened in camp when they try and kill each other over the artifact. Always fun. And yeah, dig up more about her Shah worshipping as always. I'm probably trying to convert Shadowheart into being goody, and I'm probably going to have Lizelle as her love interest. And that's the way I'm thinking at the moment. But you know, it is what it is. There's a new ending on the Lizelle storyline so I'm thinking I might do that. Now I've unlocked my artist, send him on his way so I can then meet him again in Act 3 and get really bored pursuing ghosts around his house, which is the most annoying. It's probably the only part of Baldur's Gate 3 that I really didn't enjoy. The first time I played through it, it was just annoying rather than challenging, which I gotta say, the rest of the Baldur's Gate 3 is so much fun. It's just a disappointment they have that one bit that's just not great. As to this, I decided to get Lizelle in place and then just kick off stabbing everything in sight. I probably should have been nicer to the wolves because it's not their fault. Their masters are horrible, but you know, Shadowheart's scared of wolves anyway, so and I don't have any animal friendship stuff going on, so kill the Zents, unlock the way down, and get down to the Underdark. So this episode's got one little skirmish with these guys and then one fight with the Minotaurs below, and that's pretty much it. Neither fight is particularly challenging, you know, at the level we're at. I mean, Lizelle is doing pretty decent work these days, and yeah, knocking things down and smacking things around, so she's fairly useful. And yeah, I gotta say, it's really handy. Those extra d8s you can throw into damage dice and knock things over is super powerful. It makes a huge difference, especially as you move on. I was a bit, because so much stuff blows up around here, I wasn't going to send my Raven in too much because yes, stuff gets blown up, and yeah, just basically play this reasonably conservative and safe, and just let Lizelle and Carla take the majority of the damage. you know, that's really what they're good at. The crossbow that does Bane is a reasonable item to have, gives a Shadow Heart, because it gives her a reason to shoot a crossbow. And Bane's a good effect. Anytime you're minusing D4, plussing D4 to damage or attack rolls or anything, a D4 can make a huge difference. It seems silly, but it does make a pretty decent difference, just that odd little D4. And I mean, raging here is a bit overkill, but they say the amount of fights I aim for in a day, I'm not super trying to be conservative with the amount of actions I have. Rage on rage action. It just means the fight takes longer, but you know, it's quite good fun. And that guy's super annoying with the crossbows, but you know, I would say Lizelle getting those dice back on a short rest is super handy, and she does a decent amount of damage at the moment. And now time for the Raven to spring its blinding attack on this guy. And yeah, I was hoping to clear the way with that so I could then use my main attack to do a spell. Didn't kind of work out, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you try and be too cute with the action economy. Now I do like using blindness to set this up, because it should have hit, and it should have been a lot of hit points damage. Cause Wounds is a hugely damaging spell, massively powerful and well worth doing. If you've got an easy way of delivering Cause Wounds, it's huge. It's 3d10 at level 1 and scales up a d10 every level above that you cast it. It's one of the most powerful low level spells that's, you know, amps up really savagely. But, you know, such is life. If you plan to use a big resource spell or a big spell, you're gonna miss. In fact, there was a lot of missing in this fight that really shouldn't have happened, but you know, that's just the way. If you got like a 70% hit chance, you miss. That's the way it goes in this this game. And that's the pendant I got off Karga. What I've done with Lizelle is basically give her any item that does a little bit of this, that, or whatever damage. So she's got a little bit of extras from everything. It's kind of handy. It kind of suits. You know, Karlak's going to do massive damage, and Lizelle's going to do lots of little bits of damage here and there. And I can't even mock a wolf to death. That's just so annoying. And then I nearly forgot that I do have a second attack, so I might as well take the crossbow attack as well. Which, you know, that clears the wolf out. And then it's just a matter of dealing with this dude who's a pain in the butt, but not particularly resistant to getting stuff chucked at him. It's so damaging, it's so good. And knocking him prone, and then you just follow up with a big hammer and crush. Huge damage. The Thrower Barbarian is one of the best builds in the game. One of the interesting things I found is this wardrobe always gives you random items of clothing, not set. But once we've looted everything, head down in the lift. There's a lot to be looted up there and down here. Now, after a cool trip to the Underdark and way more looting, we get the two Minotaurs. Now, one Minotaur will leap up here and we'll fight him, and the other one, unfortunately for him, I know he's really, really easy to damage with bludgeoning. And I have a Barbarian that's going to throw hammers at him and hit him with a big hammer. So, unfortunate for him, he's going to get absolutely messed up. As to the other one, he's got a decent amount of hit points, but he's going to get just peppered with everything, you know, which is a bit harsh but kind of funny. And let's say Karlak throwing stuff is, at this point, pretty damaging. So we go with the set it on fire and then just, you know, have fun. But yeah, I mean, we burnt through our rages pretty quick today. Probably shouldn't have done, but you know, like I say, I like to have only a few fights a day. It's probably the best way to deal with it. And I didn't mean for that to happen, because that's a really dumb move, losing the high ground. Don't give up the high ground. What would Obi-Wan say? And yeah, making that thing dash and lose its turn is the best use of anything. And then, you know, I've got L action surge. She's all lightning charged up, so that's a little bit of extra damage, you see. Just that little point or two from, you know, between poison, little bits from here, little bits from there. That's the idea with her, just to keep her damage ticking over, because she doesn't hit as hard as Karlach, but those extra bits really help out. And now it's just bundle this poor one with everything, and the other one we'll leave Karlach to really deal with. And yeah, little tiny stabby stabs from my character with little tiny knives. I do need to get some better weapons on the go, but here comes the big damage hit. So 96%, and that's 44 damage delivered. And then I was like, oh, should I go and hit that one that's on the floor? And then I was like, hang on a minute, you've got 28 points left, so now it's got 6. And I will try and get my cause wounds to work at some point, because it is really good. However, what was coming was definitely not worth all this effort. Trying to work out what the best thing to do is, because I really wanted to kill this before it got a chance to have another attack. And cause wounds was probably my best shot at doing that. I do manage to get Shadowheart up here in position to do it. 84% chance, and miss. Of course, miss rounds bottom. That's the way it goes. But a blinded on fire Minotaur cannot kill a Raven. So fair play to my Raisin. With Mage Armor, he's pretty damn tough. And unfortunately with the Minotaur, it did manage to stop getting knocked over, but it's not got the hit points left to keep taking this much damage. And as to the other one, well, the other one is about to get absolutely stomped and mollywopped, because let's say that's that one taken out. This one down here, he's very resistant to most things, but what he's not resistant to is a dirty great big hammer to the face. And yeah, the amount of damage that Karlach hit him with that thrown hammer, and then that hit there, which is 44 hit points, it's just like 3 hits and he's dead. And that's all for this episode. Thank you very much for watching.